TMZ got to testify that it was a pre-staged photo op and they were tipped off about being in the courthouse. They put on evidence from an expert that the photos have been edited, the videos have been edited. So what happens when Amber's attorneys go back and now have to speak to her about it?
So every attorney has been in this position before where your client lies under oath, or the evidence is clearly contrary to what they said. And this is like a bombshell. So what you do is you take them back in a private room and you say, the technical legal term for what is happening to you is that you're fucked.
If we're more experienced and more tolerance dependent, it's going to take a lot more, but inevitably will make us disinhibited and will make us act out, and acting out could be done in a lot of different ways, intimate partner violence, okay? With also remembering, control is the enemy of intimate partner violence. So that
The lineup of witnesses in rebuttal is getting better and better. It was just revealed that they're going to bring in one of the executive producers from TMZ during the years of their marriage and divorce to testify about the origins of all of the leaked information. That with Kate Moss, and who knows who else is being brought in. Everyone's waking up. It's going to be time for the rave. No more snooze fest. Ben's still playing a mean game of Candy Crush on his phone there. I posted earlier that I thought maybe he was making pic collages of The Last Expert, but now I'm pretty sure he's got to be playing Candy Crush. I mean, he barely looks up. He's just sitting back, playing on his phone, while the rest of us are trying to figure out why are they putting on these witnesses and what really is their expertise and what are they getting out of it. I hope he says something that blows me out of the water. Otherwise, Amber's team is wasting their precious 8 hours they have left on a hand surgeon. I wouldn't do it. If they waste their time, they're not going to have the time left to cross anyone that Johnny calls in rebuttal. Not sure about this strategy. I'm very intrigued, but not sure this is how I would waste the 8 hours I have left. The opposite of love is not hate, but indifference. And Johnny Depp certainly showed a lot of indifference towards Amber Heard today in the courtroom. Not once did he look up, did he even acknowledge that she was testifying or that she was in the same room with him. As she was testifying about how he would disappear and not come back. And in her voice recordings played, she kept yelling at him about how much she hated that he would walk out the door and not pay attention to her. And he did it again today. Johnny's got 5 lawyers sitting at the trial table, and they're working about 10 hours a day of in-court time. So I'm estimating about $50,000 a day times...
Plus support staff, plus expenses, plus. I mean, remember, most attorneys don't miss any billing. I hope it was worth it, all this. But the true expense is actually the prep time in this case. The in-court is expensive, but for every hour in court, probably 4 or 5 hours of prep time. So again, I hope she was worth it.
No, she cannot be recalled. After each witness, the judge specifically asks each side if this witness can be recalled. Both sides said no. I think it was strategically done by Johnny's side so that once Whitney sits in that courtroom, she can't be recalled at any time by Amber's side. I think it was a huge mistake on Amber's side, but I think they needed someone there to support her. Johnny comes in with a huge entourage. Amber comes in with no one. It was a PR stunt to have Whitney there, and it was also to lend Amber some support. But no, she cannot be recalled once she sits in the courtroom or watches any testimony. Being watched all across the world during this trial. If you are Amber's attorney and you are going to object during Chu's argument, which is very rarely done, you better make sure that it gets sustained. He just objected, and his reason was that it was rude to the court, that he was arguing to the cameras, and that it would influence the jury. The jury is not in the box. They can't hear any of this. So basically what he's trying to say to the court is that he thinks this jury is doing outside research watching the news and watching social media. That's a huge statement and allegation to make. You better be able to back it up. The judge totally dismissed him and said, basically, I don't know what you're talking about, and sit down. You better know what you're doing when that many people are watching. Never underestimate the jury. They are watching everything you're doing. That's why I didn't like that Ben was playing on his phone yesterday and thought he should have out a laptop. I thought it was very disrespectful to the jury. I also thought it was sort of disrespectful to the judge, and the jury is making the decision in this matter. The jury is also watching what people are wearing. I have not liked Amber's choices throughout this entire trial. I would have put her in more softer, muted colors, a more softer, muted color palette, and would not have had her in such staunch, stiff suits every day. I'm really happy to see Johnny stopped wearing so much black. I love his suit and tie combination today. Much better. Never underestimate how much a jury is judging everything going on in the courtroom, and not only the parties, but their attorneys and their behavior too.